Unoilam ke Kongres Hakariu badairu Myntri barim ke sorkar pdeng Sahin Pilot ulabu jingkylli ke sorkar MDA iohkam ke NPP berkumjuh ruwe ke BJP ke iadei bar ke jingnang kiew ke jingbym iohkam iohjam ha ke Jylla. Haba kren beglar pathai Khubor Shillong Sachin ula ongru ba mynta pat kitei parti kilawan ban kular kilat iohkam iohjam shwa ke elekshon.
To visit Meghalaya and Shillong and meet the wonderful people here. Today I've come to raise a few issues in front of you, and I think they're important in the context of the voters making up their minds as to which party and what government can take the state forward for the next 5 years. We've had a previous government here in Meghalaya, which was also voted by the people of the state. But those parties that came together, promising and committing themselves to the development of the state, to provide jobs, economic development, growth, etc. Those same very people today are pulling in different directions, accusing each other of corruption. I think that people want to ask the question that for 5 years when you work together as a team, at that point there were no concerns about the corrupt practices, about the allegations that we are seeing today. And I think this mass migration of elected representatives happening from one party to another party is something that doesn't argue very well for our polity. And this state is a wonderful, peace-loving, progressive state. People of Meghalaya are looking for a government, for a party that can actually hold everyone together. And I'm absolutely confident the way that the Congress party has given its candidates this time. In fact, I'm told this is the youngest ever candidate list in the history of Meghalaya. Congress party has deliberately given tickets to young men and women, qualified professionals who have convictions and principles, who are committed to the people, who will really usher in a new era for the state of Meghalaya. I'm told about 10 of our seats out of 60 we have given to women for the first time. So equal participation of young people, professionally qualified individuals and women, I think will reflect the true demography of the state. Potential that we have in the state has not been explored. I think every party, especially the last government, whether it's the BJP or the NPP or other partners, they were quite focused on how to politically realign themselves only to stay in power. The Congress, I think, is committed to enhancing the IT sector, the tourism sector, the economic growth, the investment, the job creation that young people in this city, in this state are aspiring for. The BJP has been in government for the last 8.5 years in New Delhi. They had a government here. And the BJP always talks about this double engine sarkar. Well, they had the opportunity here where they had two governments and double engine. And yet, at the time of elections now, they've gone apart and are doing this finger pointing game. So the BJP stands totally exposed to my mind, because why BJP, it has the electoral bonds are designed in such a way to help the incumbent, and majority of the money that comes for donations, in fact, if I'm not wrong, about 90% of the money goes to the BJP, and the BJP makes no bones about deploying the resources. But money alone, I think, cannot win elections. Here is a state where people have emotions, they have understanding of the cultural heritage, of the traditions of the state, who are committed and who are partners in their joy and sorrow. Those sentiments actually play a big role. And therefore, that's why I say that people who come now, I think even the Honorable Prime Minister is visiting here, I think the Home Minister is here. But what are they offering? Except for empty promises for the future. That begs the question that jab aap satta mein the for 8 years in Delhi and 5 years here, what did you do that time? So that question remains unanswered. All these flowery speeches and promise of the future is all well and good. But what about when you had the chance, when the opportunity? However you may have formed the government, but you had power. What did you do that time? And what happened to your partners that you were sharing power for 5 years and now suddenly you are accusing each other? It shows that it is pure, simple, selfish, power-centric game. Deploy resources, take on opponents when the time suits you, and then part ways when it doesn't suit you. And who's to say that post-election they will not realign again? No one is committing to that. I think even the BJP is not saying no to anybody. So this open-ended game of political maneuverability and buying and having people cross over, the state has seen enough of that. So I think that one stable, strong ideology is the Congress party, and therefore people will vote for our candidates. Well, I think the voters are very smart. they know who they're voting for, and the party ideology and the party is far more important. The people who have left, I think they can best answer what the reasons were. But we give them an opportunity, we gave them a platform and a party symbol, and the voters elected them. Yet they choose to move. I think this also is an exposure of sorts that the people of the state will see. I don't want to comment on each individual, but I think generally as a party, as an ideology, Congress stands firm. People come and people go. But the state of Meghalaya, the people of the state are committed and I think are leaning towards the Congress party. People come, people go. In fact, a lot of the parties that are contesting elections here have all borrowed leaders from other parties. So the one that has stayed strong is the Congress party.
Absolute majority seats.
Well, we are fighting every single seat. And there are some parties that have some strongholds in some part of the state. Congress is a party that has presence and good candidates across all 60 seats. And we are fighting to get a simple, clear majority. That's the aim. And I'm sure we'll achieve our aim.